Basketball in focus, Shane's Rib Shack starting up again for another big week. Got a lot of basketball going on around the area. A lot of high school games are going to be played on Friday. Some are being played on Thursday. Some have been postponed, moved around because of a crazy week of weather. But again, our basketball in focus show from Shane's Rib Shack, and we'll hold right there. So where are you going to college at?
Emory.
Was it again?
Emory in Atlanta.
Oh, really? Give me that name again.
Emory University.
Emory, I got you, Emory. I was picking all that up. Think of Emory, yeah. You can play basketball there?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Feel like good? Basketball in focus, Shane's Rib Shack, full steam ahead for a Thursday. Caroline Spurr from Greensboro Day is going to be with us tonight. Later, Tamara Thorpe from Greensboro Day. And also later on, more guests from Greensboro Day, and also a young lady, hopefully from Dudley tonight, Kennedy Curry, to join us around 6:30. Caroline Spurr is with us. She tells us she's going to be going to Emory University in Atlanta when she finishes at Greensboro Day. But you got some work to still do at Greensboro Day before you get to Emory. And some of that work involves trying to win a state championship. That's one of your goals when you graduate, before you finish this year, right?
Yes,
Senior
sir.
year is to win that state championship. And to win that state championship, if I'm correct, think about this, the one thing that stands your way, kind of the block between you and that state title, maybe a lot of different things, but one thing I know for certain has been there lately has been two words.
Providence Day.
Man, smart. You got it all down. You knew. You must have read the pregame sheet. You're right. Providence Day. That is a tough. I was reading about them a little bit. They've won like 4 straight state titles. They've also picked up 7 of the last 8, 8 of the last 10. Providence Day, very tough school. But you played them earlier this season and had a bit of success against them. Didn't win, but played them in a close game.
Yeah, we played pretty well. We had some parts where we struggled, but we came back from, I think it was a 14-point deficit, brought it within about 4, but then we had a foul at the end. So
what makes Providence Day so tough? I see they've got one young lady, not sure of her last name, if it's Williams or Wilson or someone.
White, Chatari White.
There you go. I know Williams, Wilson. She is tough.
She is. She's very good, but they're really well coached and they all play together. So it just
Did you get to face them in last year's championship game?
We didn't make it to the championship last year.
Semifinals, did you see them there?
No, we played Raven Gap.
So Raven Gap knocked you out before you had a shot at Providence last year. But got to play them this year and hope to play them again for the state title sometime this year.
Hopefully.
What's been kind of the stumbling block to be able to get over that gap to get to that state championship game? I know even in the Timco, you did better this year, got to the third place game and won that third place game. What do you think that stumbling block has been? Is it a mental thing or is there something else maybe you guys are working on and you're actually working to get there?
We've got to just work on finishing. We make it through the tough times, but we can never complete. And so I think once we're able to do that, we'll be able to pull out a state championship. Hopefully.
You had a fairly successful Timco tournament this year. Again, Caroline Spurr with us, Greensboro Day School Lady Bengals, who've got a big game against Wesley tomorrow night. Talk about the Timco and some of the success your team had, although not winning the championship, but you got a step closer. You got to the third place game this year. Had success in the Timco.
Yeah. Well, of course, we were hoping to make it to the championship, but we lost a heartbreaking loss to Northwest. But that's on us, and we're just looking to move forward from that.
And the best thing about that Northwest loss, you bounced back the next day and got the win. And that wasn't an easy win either. That was a pretty tough game. I think it was against Northern Gopher, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, you fought hard to beat them.
It was a close one, but we were all tired, but we were able to pull it out, which was
What about the game against Wesleyan tomorrow night? What's that looking like for you? I know Wesleyan, a few years back, very competitive team. They may have dropped off a little bit for a little while. Looks like they're getting back there now, too, getting competitive again over Wesleyan.
I mean, Wesleyan should be pretty good. good. I know they have a new coach who used to coach at Calvary, and he's a very good coach, and so it should be a pretty good fight.
And is that a big game? I know the men's game is going to get a lot of attention because they got Theo Pinson coming in, and that's going to be a big night at Greensboro Day School. But for the women, that's a pretty big night for your ladies as well, I think.
Yeah, Wesleyan is always a competitive game just because they're our rivals, but it should be fun.
Talk about your role with the team without anybody knowing anything about it beforehand, because we've seen you play for a few years now. But talk about your role with the Bengals squad and what you do with this team and how your importance is with the team.
Well, I play point guard, so I'm just trying to keep everyone together and have everyone have a role and be involved. And so I just want to make sure I can make others look good and play to the best of their potential.
Do you mind doing the dirty work? Because the point guard spot, a lot of dirty work to be done out there. A lot of stuff down around the floor, scrapping. I mean, you don't play it like you don't go out playing the game from your standpoint, but watching you play, it's not one of those things where you're playing it overly tactical. You don't mind getting in and rubbing elbows, getting dirty, getting nasty with this stuff too.
No,
it's
that's
a pretty
the
tough
fun
job.
part.
Pretty tough job.
It's okay. I enjoy that part. I mean, the little things are what matter. So.
How has this team gotten better the past couple of years, Greensboro Day School Bengals? Because I know several years back the team was trying to build, getting better as you went along, but it was a slow process. It's still a slow process. We've seen a lot of improvement over the past couple of years. How has this team gotten better, and why do you think your team has gotten better?
I think the most important thing has been that we finally have gotten on the same page and we've come together and our chemistry is there this year. We all get along, there hasn't been drama, and we're all just really close.
When does the drama come if there is drama? What creates the drama, and when does it come in girls basketball sometimes?
I mean, girls will be girls and just get on each other's nerves, and we spend so much time together practicing 6 days out of the week. I mean, it's bound to happen, but I mean, I couldn't say it could go any better than it is.
It's been very good this year.
It has been.
Enjoyable, fun to be around all these girls.
I'm glad to have this year be my senior year.
Yes, I mean, you're kind of different too in a senior season for the girls team. You got to be a leader on this team too. Anything does begin to break down, you can't stand back and jump in there and be a part of it. You got to say, kind of set this thing apart. We've got to keep this thing together.
Yes, exactly right. I mean, there hasn't really been cases where it come to that point, but if I see anything develop, I'll make sure to go and try and cut things off before.
What's been the strength of this team, the core of this team, some of your teammates that make this a better squad as the years go? I think you're, man, I may be wrong, but I'm trying to remember that record, about 22-2 somewhere in that range. That's an outstanding record.
Yes.
And you played some good competition along the way. I mean, 22 wins, most teams say, I'll take that. Now let's just shut things out and go home for the season. But what's been the key to bringing all that together?
I mean,
some of those teammates that have really stepped up for you to help bring that together.
Everyone has stepped up. I mean, Tamara's having a great year. Imani's rebounding is crucial to our wins. Myra is a great defensive player. We have a lot of hustle from Caroline Sherwood. Anna is a great post presence.
Now, who's Anna? What's her last name?
Oh, Christiana Harrison, sorry.
I got you.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, because we've seen her play quite a. She's either 40, 44, or somewhere in that range. I know she's the big girl.
And then freshman Gloria Smith-Bunch has been a great shooting role.
You too. She's a pretty big kid.
And then Roxanne Benning is
doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, she's really handling the pressure pretty well as an 8th grader.
Now, who is the real? There's kind of a slender girl on your team. I can't remember which one. She might be the Fleming girl. I'm not sure, but very slender. But a lot of these kids get out, get a lot of time, get a lot of action, and that's probably good for Coach John Carter to have several players to choose from and have some depth in this team too. Because if you get in trouble, Tamara gets in trouble, Amani gets in trouble, Caroline Sherwood gets in trouble, you got some help on the bench.
Yes, we do. Also, another 8th grader, Ellie Baldwin, is a post, number 32, and she's really improved this year, and that's been really important.
How do you help these young players get better? I mean, when you were younger, somebody had to help you. How do you help these young kids with your team now?
It's all about giving them confidence because that's what they lack, and when they have confidence, it minimizes their mistakes. And so, I mean, they all have the potential in them, and they all have the want and the worth ethic.
Where did you get your confidence for this game?
I don't know. as I matured, I guess I learned that I needed it.
Did you have to kind of develop a little bit of an edge going in?
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You gotta grow that tough skin.
That toughness makes a difference, I'm sure.
Yes.
Did you get it during, did you have some travel seasons too, on the road?
I've played AAU since 6th grade, so.
So you've played a long time with this basketball. Who are some of the main AAU coaches and teams you played for? Because there's quite a few organizations out there. It used to be maybe one or two, but there are quite a few out there now.
I played for the Winston-Salem Steelers, and my main coach has been Coach Trish Garrett, who's also the assistant coach at Bishop.
Got to give you credit. That's the Winston-Salem Steelers. Have not heard a whole lot about them. I've heard about the Phoenix, the Express, and sort of the teams that are located, yes, in this area. But going to Winston-Salem, the Steelers, that's not bad.
I mean,
how'd you get connected with them?
Actually, I had a longtime friend whose sister had played for them, and they recommended them to us. And once I went there, I really appreciated what they stood for and how they played the game, so I always stuck with it. They're my first and only team.
Good parental support, I'm sure, family support?
Of course.
How did you get locked in and get connected with Emory University in Atlanta? Because Emory, very well put together academic status, very good.
Yes.
How'd you get connected with that team?
They were one of the first teams to reach out for me and have consistently recruited me, and as I learned more about the coaches and their team itself and went to the elite camp, I just really loved what they had.
So you went to a camp there then?
I did.
And got some good exposure from them?
Yes, I could. I got to meet most of the players.
How about the coaches there? Have you connected with them some too?
Oh yes, definitely. We keep in touch all the time.
They keep up with your games, the Greensboro Day, those type of things?
Yes.
Have they ever had a chance to come watch you play?
They have not, but Atlanta's pretty far, and they have a busy season. So.
How are they doing? How's Emory these days?
They are undefeated, actually.
Really?
Yes.
That's kind of a shock. Don't know a lot about Emory basketball from the women, but we do now. Undefeated, not bad at all.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on with Emory to make them to reach that level? It must be an established program more so than we make.
Yeah, they are. I think they're ranked number 8th in the country for Division III. So.
Division III?
Yes.
Gotcha. So they would play actually against schools like Greensboro College, maybe even Guilford if they were to meet somewhere down the road. It's not bad at all. So undefeated. Are they up in the teens, 20s as far as total wins go, I guess? Probably in that neighborhood?
I think it's in the teens.
Not bad. Now, do you get to see them any, because I know you're busy now, a lot of games going on with Greensboro Day School. Got a big game tomorrow night against Wesleyan, just came out of the Timco, already right at 24 games in the season. Do you have time to go see them play?
Well, all their games are live streamed, so I can usually watch through that, and then I'm going to make a visit at some point.
Not bad. So you just hook the computer up and watch those games right there?
Yes, sir.
Do you begin to watch, maybe from a standpoint of a high school player going to college next year, you kind of watch your position and the person playing your position, kind of see how they play and how they do things, yeah?
They will graduate their 2-point guards this year, so.
That sounds like a good possibility there.
It is.
Yeah, so you might be able to kind of work your way right in there and see some playing time quickly.
Hopefully.
I mean, I know the academics were huge, probably because if you graduate from Emory, it's almost like graduating from Stanford, Duke, places like that. But the fact that did you kind of in the back of your mind, those seniors were in front of you there, that are currently there as seniors, and maybe that had a factor for us going there, saying, hey, I can go there, I think I might get some quick playing time?
That was one of the factors, but it wasn't the main one. Academics, of course, were always first and foremost, and then just making sure the compatibility with the coaches and the team was there was next.
Other sports? Do you play other sports at Greensboro?
I run cross country and run track.
Wow, so you stay pretty busy year-round then.
Yes.
What do you run in track?
I run the 4x400, the 400, and I do long and triple jump.
Man, some pretty good success with the track too?
Yes. We've actually set 2 school records. So.
Not bad. Is that like with the relays?
In the relays.
Okay. Yes. Who's the track coach? I don't know anything about track at Greensboro Day at all.
Bill Welch.
That's the younger Bill Welch, the father of Bill Welch we were talking about a little while ago, the cameraman. I guess he probably gets some TV 14 camera there occasionally. That's pretty good connection because younger Bill Welch, very good with that track team. That's good. Does he also coach the cross country?
Yes, he does.
How has your success been there?
It's been pretty good. I've been on the all-conference team every year.
Do you like it?
I do.
Cross country?
I mean, it's tough, but I've learned a lot of willpower from it.
Do you ever get out there sometimes all by yourself when you're running, kind of like feel like you're lost out in the woods somewhere?
I mean, at times, yes, but usually we always go together. So
that's pretty good because I guess you get lost out in the woods, but you kind of get lost in your head. It kind of clears your head out a lot too.
It does.
Running. Yeah. How long have you been running?
I started cross country sophomore year, and I've ran track since freshman.
Here's a question for you, too. Did the cross country come about because of basketball? Did the basketball coach or someone at the school suggest you should run cross country to help you? Because sometimes basketball players kind of get thrust to that cross country mode because that's their preseason training, you know?
Yeah. I actually took it upon myself after track season, and I liked Bill Welch, the coach, a lot. And so I thought I might as well give it a try. And I just liked how it prepared me stamina-wise for basketball and mentally.
Step right in. And mentally, mentally that's another factor too. But you can step right in from cross country into basketball, no problem up and down the court then.
It's a little bit different stamina, but I can recover from sprints quicker.
Gotcha. So that's probably the stamina difference. Is probably the fact with the cross country, a little bit slower pace. You got to catch your pace, but the basketball coming out pretty quick.
Yes.
Pretty hard there. You think about that cross country. It's a little different because you said you did the 4x100.
4x400.
4x400. So you're doing the one lap deal in the relay, and then you do the 400 meters as well. I hope this is not over digging as far as trying to stretch out a question. Just kind of curious. How do you compare the track part, the one lap deal, to the cross country, which you're probably going 3.1 miles or maybe?
Yes.
Something like that? How do you compare those two? There's a big difference in those.
It's a lot different because the 400 is probably one of the most difficult.
It is, because the 400, if we were drawing it up today, is probably, I'm jumping in on some of your helping you answer these questions, kind of thinking about it myself, probably the toughest event in the entire meet, because it's a gut check, because you got one lap and boom, you got to go hard. There's no, think about it, let me pace myself to the corner and then jump in there. It's the same thing all the way around.
You sort of have to find that right sprint/fast run and figure out what will be best for you.
Yeah, and you don't just get it the first time around. I've seen some of these track people over the years. You don't get that 400 the first time through. Like you see, you got to kind of figure out what your pace is going to be and what pace you got to run against the competition, because the competition level you get out there. If you're in that pace, you kind of set yourself a little slower. You got to pick it up and try to hang with everybody. If you get behind in that 400, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty nerve-wracking.
Have you got it under 60 seconds?
No.
just how about 70? That sound
I've done 102 is my best.
What are the 62 seconds?
Yeah.
It's not bad. Kind of studying that event a little bit over the years, not bad at all. You're close to the 60-second mark then. Yeah. You must be probably in a situation within your conference. You're pretty competitive in that event, I would think. Then.
I think I'm second or third in the conference.
Not bad at all, because 62 seconds is, and you do about the same speed for the relay?
Yes, sir.
You run the anchor leg on that?
I either run first or last, yes.
Okay. That's kind of interesting, too, just studying. We're talking more about track or basketball, what the heck. That's kind of interesting, too, because it's going to be a big difference in the first lap and the last lap. Mentally doing that event, it's like, the first lap, you got to try to get out and get that lead and get a little bit of a break. Last lap, if you're in front, you got to maintain, or if you're on that last lap, you got to go get those guys.
Yes. I prefer first for that reason. But
good thing about first is you get out to get your lead, and at least you know in the first lap, it's done, it's over.
Yeah.
Only problem is you got to get a good exchange in that handoff.
Yeah.
If you run last, all you got to do is make sure you accept the handoff. I don't like that handoff. That's going to be pretty tough. It's interesting talking with Caroline Spurr. Will you run track at Emory?
Oh, I don't think so.
Track is over.
Probably.
And just going to be focusing on basketball.
Yes, sir.
Are you kind of glad in some ways, maybe in the back of your mind, it'd be kind of fun to eventually get to college and focus on just one sport?
I think so, but I got to make sure I can figure out how to stay in shape.
I expect you'll probably have all these, maybe not so as much at Division III as you would Division I, but maybe have some specialized trainers there too, you think?
Yes.
You ever had like your own personal trainer and own personal coach, did that kind of thing?
For basketball, I do, yes.
Who do you work with there?
Catherine Lyons.
Okay, I've heard that name from somewhere, but not exactly.
She coaches with the Winston-Salem Steelers, and she used to play at Bishop.
Gotcha. I maybe heard maybe from Bishop, because Bishop had a string of just outstanding teams.
Yeah, she was really good.
They were sending like girls to Maryland and all these.
Yeah, she was the one who went to Maryland.
They were sending girls everywhere back in the Bishop's women's team, and they're still very good today.
Yes, they are.
Sending girls to Carolina, like Megan Buckland, that's not too bad. That's not too shabby there. Thinking about that. Yeah. Well, headed to Emory next year. Got to do well this year. Got to get that Providence Day. Got to get that straight in your head. Got to make sure you beat them. In between, because you're thinking about Providence Day, because you've already answered that question in the back of your mind. You know about them, what you got to be ready for. What about the other stuff in between? What are you going to do to make sure you stay focused between now and that tournament? You got to get the tournament. You got to get past the semifinals.
Right. Well, that's exactly what we need to do. Focus. We need to take each game one at a time. Keep working hard in practice, and not get lackadaisical or take anyone for anything less than we should.
How do you stay in the game? Because you're playing so hard. One thing you've got good conditioning because the track could get a little tired. But how do you stay in the game as far as being aggressive and avoiding too many fouls that might get you sent out of a game? How do you keep yourself in the game? The game is going to be 32 minutes. If I'm not mistaken, 8 times 4. Yeah, okay. 32 minutes. How do you keep yourself in that game? At least probably 28 to 30 minutes per game. How do you keep yourself out there?
I think I've sort of developed a way to keep myself in it. When I start going down, I just have to think next play and can't get caught back in the last play, because otherwise it'll affect my team, and I can't have that. So.
Do you wear a mouthpiece?
I do.
I thought you did. I was trying to think back to watching you play if you wore a mouthpiece. I thought you probably did. It's probably a smart move too.
Yeah.
Maybe not only being the point guard, but again, protecting your teeth a little bit also.
It's because I saw a guy lose his 2 front teeth when I was in like 8th grade, so ever since then.
Who has been the best male basketball player you've seen, high school, let's say just high school, over the years around Greensboro Day, or just watching this area of basketball? Who's probably the best male basketball player you've probably seen over the years? Anybody you think of?
I have no idea. I mean, we've had a lot of good players come through Greensboro Day, and one person I always enjoyed watching was JT, Jonathan Terry.
Yeah, man, good guy.
He actually plays at Emory, but
he's playing at Emory?
yes, he
wow,
is.
So he's at Emory also. Darn, that's not bad.
But he just had an incredible work ethic, and he always was doing the little things. So.
Man, that guy could get more rebounds for his height than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Outstanding rebounder. I mean, you look up and John Terry, JT was in the air just pulling it down. Yeah. And like you said, that's a good choice too, because there's more to being the best basketball player you've seen than just the guy that's doing maybe 25, 26, whatever points a game. They're the little things like you talk about are important.
Right. I mean, he was always going for the loose ball. He's always getting all the rebounds, and he was just a nice guy.
Did you ever see his sister play, Helen?
I did.
She's a good little player
good.
too, man. What I like about the point guard is very low to the floor, know how to keep the shoulders square, know how to handle the game. That's what you like about that.
She's really quick.
Very quick. Saw her in the championship game when they played in Raleigh a few years back, maybe about 5 years back, because she went down to, I think, College of Charleston or something. Or Charleston Southern, maybe. You get those two mixed up all the time. But just an outstanding high school player. Led her team to the state championship game. Without her help, they would not have won it.
Yeah, that's very true. I never really got to see her play, but my dad was always telling me about how aggressive she was.
And for yourself, between now and then, you just got to keep the young players motivated. You got to keep yourself in the game. And how many assists? I'm not worried about how many points you get. How many assists do you get a game?
I honestly don't know. Probably averages between 6 and 8.
Darn, that's not bad. I was going to guess maybe between 3 and 4, trying to keep it respectable. Between 6 and 8 is not bad at all.
Yeah.
So that's distributing 12 to 16 points to teammates. That's a good thing. And probably it should be. It probably should be about that number.
Some games there's more, some games there's less. But
you ever had one of those games with maybe 13, 15 assists in a game?
I think it was 10 or 11.
Yeah, not bad at all. Well, Caroline, pleasure talking with you.
Thank
Good luck to the rest of the season. Keep up the good work. We'll watch for you at Emory. And say John Terry's there also.
Yes,
That's
sir.
2 reasons to follow Emory then.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.